Before you go on your next cruise, there's something you got to be aware of. And this is all regarding travel protection, travel insurance, and so on. Right now in Cozumel, there are 2 passengers who missed their cruise ship because of an incident they had. They went out and rented 2 scooters on their own so they could make their own way to a fabulous beach club and have an incredible day. And I bet they did, up until the time they were heading back to the cruise ship.
My name is Stuart. This is Ship to Shore Cruise News. Let's get into it.
So these 2 passengers rented their own scooters, which is something people keep saying don't do. It's not advisable to go ahead and rent your own scooters. I'm sure people are very skilled at riding these. I know I've ridden them and I have no problem. But when you're in a different country, you don't know what's going to happen and you have to be prepared. First of all, they had an injury. From what I've read so far, they were hit by a motorist and knocked to the ground. The article also said that these 2 people were unconscious for a couple of hours before medical assistance arrived into the hospital. Needless to say, because they did their own thing, the cruise ship left without them. The cruise ship is only going to wait for people if they booked an excursion through the cruise line themselves. That gives you a little bit of added insurance or guarantee that the ship's not going to leave you behind if something happens on the excursion. These 2 individuals, they may have done this many times before, but in this case, they were struck by a motorist. When they came to a few hours later, there was broken bones, there was bruises, there was head injuries, and also all their personal possessions were gone. So they were taken to the hospital. Unfortunately, when they got to the hospital, one of them was not even admitted because they did not have any health insurance at all. And the other one, well, it's 2 days later and they are still in the hospital because they need to make arrangements to pay the $10,000 to $20,000 hospital bill that they've incurred. And from what I understand, Mexico, they don't let foreigners leave the hospital until they've made arrangements to pay that bill. It's unfortunate. Now, I'm saying all this, and there's one thing that you might not realize or you've probably thought of already. These cruisers did not buy any insurance. They did not buy any coverage. They just went on the cruise. It's very important that when you go on a cruise, please, please, please get some travel protection to help you get somewhere if the cruise line leaves without you for some unforeseen reason. It can help you get to the next port or get home. Also, the insurance. If they had health insurance, if they had bought the travel insurance, they wouldn't be facing these insurmountable bills of being injured. Now, the family, from what I understand, they are doing a GoFundMe page. They are trying to raise some money, and they are trying to get down to Cozumel to help the family members get home. In addition to no insurance and no protection, these cruisers did not bring a passport. They just went on board with their driver's licenses. Now, cruise lines out of the United States all recommend that you bring a passport that's valid for at least 6 months past the date of sailing. These passengers decided not to bring their passports, period. Because they did not bring their passports with them, and they don't have them with them at the hospital, they are encountering difficulties getting home to the United States. Traveling home to the United States from a foreign country by plane requires that you have a passport. From what I read, the family is trying to work with Homeland Security and immigrations to get them back home safely and to understand that, yes, these people really are American citizens. So there's a couple of takeaways here. If you're new at cruising and you haven't cruised much, please, please, please get the travel protection, get the travel insurance. I do every time. It's a little bit of peace of mind that makes me feel better about my trip every time. Some of you out there are more seasoned travelers and you're willing to accept a little bit of risk for doing things, for booking things on your own. But For those people who book things on their own, I understand that a lot of them do have travel protection and insurance coverage as well. Also, for you new cruisers, for the first few times you cruise, please book your excursion through the cruise line. That way, it will ensure that if something goes wrong while you're on your cruise, they will wait for you. They'll only wait for you if you've booked an excursion through them. So do it that way for your first couple of cruises until you become more comfortable with the destinations you're going to. Now, I'm not affiliated with any insurance company or any place that provides travel insurance or travel protection, and I'm not going to make a recommendation to you. There's many sources online that can help you do that to find the best product for you, because what I like might not meet your needs. Other podcasters or other YouTubers do provide links and so on, and that's fine. But you need to discover what's best for you, doing your own research, and what their advertising might be perfect for you. Reddit communities is also a good source for that information, as well as Facebook groups. As you know, if you post something on Facebook, everybody's going to have the right opinion, even if they argue about it. So that's about it. Remember, I've said this in many other videos, get your travel insurance, get your travel coverage. Do it. Book your excursions through the cruise line just to make things easier. And as always, my name's Stuart. This is Ship to Shore Cruise News. And as always, get your cruise on.